Greetings, individual units. Rock and Roll Spot coming at you. Pardon the, shall we say, odd camera angle. It's going to sadly be a regular thing for the next few weeks. I left my tripod at my parents' house. Not the point, though. Today we will be unboxing the Selesnya Guild Kit from the new Current Magic the Gathering set, Guilds of Ravnica. Much like the rear one we opened up a couple weeks ago, this one, like a week and a half ago, this will feature cards from all three previous Ravnica blocks, including the current one, which is only half done. Don't really need that anymore, so I'll set that aside. Alright, so let's take a look at what all's in here. First off, we got this neat little insert. I'm not sure. I don't know what card that's from, but I'm sure we'll come across it in the deck somewhere. Then we've got the tenets of the Selesnya Conclave. Stay outside often, and when you do, take a moment to listen to the song of life. Bird song, a rhino's bellow, the whisper of leaves in the wind weave together into a glorious symphony, heard only by those wise enough to perceive it. Do not confront danger alone. Brash courage is no substitute for the gathered strength of multitudes. Treat every living thing with kindness and respect, for no being is greater than any other. Okay. Never let a day pass in which you do not touch a tree. Feel its timeless wisdom as it watches over countless human lifetimes, its strength drawn from the bones of the earth. Remember that you serve the world, it does not serve you. Those who take from the land with abandon, giving nothing back, make an enemy of the world itself, and face its wrath. Study the communities of the natural world. Flock of birds swirling in perfect unison can teach you more than any book. How do I put this nicely? Well, to quote Eric Cartman, goddamn hippies. But seriously, that's the Selesnya shtick. They are basically a bunch of hippies. However, they got strings backing them, so they're not entirely hippies to fuck with. Oh yes, of course. There's the Selesnya sigil sticker. It still blows my mind the sheer size of those. I still was not expecting a sticker that big out of the Boros one, which was the first one I got of these that I got. Deck box. All right. Anyways, there's our signet pin. These are real nice. I seriously have to find something to put the ones I have on. And our Selesnya life counter with the Selesnya sigil as 20. Okay. So, let's take a look at the deck, shall we? I just kind of realized I kind of need that, I'll need this handy. if for no other reason than to see where cards originated, at least within the Ravnica. Okay, at least within Ravnica. Okay, so kicking things off, we've got Tristani, Selesnya's voice. She comes from the Return to Ravnica set from about 5.5 years ago. Anywho, she costs 2 green, 2 white, as you can see. Legendary creature, Dryad, 2/5. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain life equal to that creature's toughness. 1 colorless, 1 green, 1 white, tap. Populate. Create a token that's a copy of a creature token you control. Populate was one of the so far 3 abilities that the Selesnya various Selesnya creatures have. Alrighty, moving on, we've got Loxodon Hierarch. It's a 4/4 for 2 colorless, 1 green, 1 white, Elephant Cleric. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 4 life. Okay. Sacrifice Loxodon Hierarch. Regenerate each creature you control. That's kind of nice. Okay. Next up, we got the and Loxodon Hierarch also comes from the first Ravnica set, Ravnica City of Guilds. Next up, we got Venerated Loxodon. Costs 4 colorless and 1 white. For an Elephant Cleric, that's 4/4. Has Convoke. Your creatures can help cast this spell. Each creature you tap while casting the spell pays for 1 colorless or 1 mana of that creature's color. When Venerated Loxodon enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature that convoked it. And Venerated Loxodon is from the current set, Guilds of Ravnica. Then we've got Armada Worm, which is from Return to Ravnica. It's a mythic. Costs 2 colorless, 2 green, 2 white. It's a worm. 5/5, has trample. When it enters the battlefield, you create a 5/5 green worm creature token with trample. Next up, we've got Tolsimir Wolfblood from Ravnica City of Guilds. 4 colorless, 1 green, 1 white for a 3/4 elf warrior. He gives green creatures and white creatures +1/+1 each, meaning he also gives creatures that are both green and white +1/+1. And he may be tapped to create a legendary 2/2 green and white wolf creature token named Voja. Okay. Alright. We got the Grove of the Guardian from Return to Ravnica. You can tap it to add 1 colorless. For 3 colorless, 1 green, 1 white, and tapping it, you tap 2 untapped creatures you control. Sacrifice Grove of the Guardian, all to create an 8/8 green and white elemental creature token with vigilance. Not my style. Next up, we've got Glare of Subdual from Ravnica City of Guilds. Again, the first Ravnica set. It's an enchantment that costs 2 colorless, 1 green, and 1 white. It allows you to tap an untapped creature you control to tap target artifact or creature. So that can be very useful. And from Return to Ravnica, we've got Growing Ranks. Also an enchantment, costs 2 colorless, and then a combination of 2 mana, either green or white. Basically, at the beginning of your upkeep, Populate. Then we've got Advent of the Worm from Dragon's Maze. Dragon's Maze was the third set in the second Ravnica block. It's an instant. It costs 1 colorless, 2 green, 1 white. It allows you to create a 5/5 green worm creature token with trample. Can be nasty. That can be potentially nasty. Next up, we've got Privileged Position. I think that originated. Let me see. That's from City of Guilds. 2 colorless, and then 3 mana that it has to be a combination of either green or white, or just green or white. Other permanents you control have hex. Oh yes. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's good. That is worth the 5 mana right there. Oh yeah. Anyways, next from Guilds of Ravnica, we've got Bounty of Might. It's an instant. Just says 3 times. Target creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn. I'm not sure if that means you basically target 3 separate creatures, or if basically one creature gets +9/+9. That's probably a definite for at least possibility-wise. The other one may be possible, but I'm not certain. But again, I'm not certain. So next up, we've got also from Guilds of Ravnica, Camaraderie. It's a sorcery. Costs 4 colorless, 1 green, and 1 white. You gain X life and draw X cards, where X is the number of creatures you control. Creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. Okay, not bad. Alrighty, now we got Hour of Reckoning, which comes from Ravnica City of Guilds. It's a sorcery. It costs 4 colorless and 3 white. It's very pricey. But it can be. You can use. It has Convoke, so you can tap creatures you control to cut down on the mana. Destroy all non-token creatures. Eek. That's when you have something else in play, which gives all your creatures indestructible. So then you'd be like, bam. And then all your creatures come on in and just, yeah. That's how we do it. Okay, there's our tokens. Alright, that gets us through all the rares and mythic. Okay, mythics, technically. Next up, we've got Dryad Militant, which costs either one green or 1 white from Return to Ravnica. It's 2/1 Dryad Soldier. If an instant or sorcery card would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. Okay, he's going to be great against the blue control deck. He will basically... That's what you play to basically give the middle fingers to a blue control deck, or, say, a Dimir deck. You're like, oh yeah, well, I got that goes exile. Suddenly, all that's left in their graveyard is creatures. Okay, yes, that can be bad. But all those control spells that were kind of made me hoping to get back. Next up from this is from Guilds of Ravnica, the new current set. Got Vernati's Shieldmate. It's 2/2 for 1 colorless and either 1 green or 1 white. It has Vigilance. Human Soldier. So we got the Selesnya Guild We got two Selesnya Evangels from way back in Ravnica City of Guilds. So 1/2 for one green and one white. Elf Shaman for one colorless and tapping the Evangel. Tap an untapped creature you tap an untapped creature you control to create a 1/1 green sapperling token. Okay. Next up, we've got from Ravnica City of Guilds. Also, we've got 2 Watch Wolves. Watch Wolves are 3/3 wolves. Watch Wolf is a 3/3 wolf. Costs 1 green and 1 white. And that's it. No text. Next up, we got 2 Selesnya Guild Mages also from City of Guilds. They're 2/2 elf wizards that cost either a combination of 2 mana, either green or white. For 3 colorless and 1 green, you may create a 1/1 green sapperling creature token. For 3 colorless and 1 white, creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. They're not bad, just not, That was it. That was kind of how the guild mages were that set. They cost 2 of the colors, a combination of 2 mana of 2 of the 2 colors of the guild they represented, and yeah. Next up, from Return to Ravnica, we've got the Centaur Healer. Centaur Healer is a 3/3 Centaur Cleric for 1 colorless, 1 green, and 1 white. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life. That's it. Next up, we've got the from Guilds of Ravnica, we have the Conclave Cavalier. It's a 4/4 Centaur Knight for 2 green and 2 white. And she's got Vigilance. And when Conclave Cavalier dies, create 2/2 green and white elf knight creature tokens with Vigilance. Okay. Next up, we've got Siege Worm. Siege Worm is a 5/5 for 5 colorless and 2 green. Has Convoke, so you can make it cheaper. And Trample. And that's the extent of it, of what it's got. We'll worry about the lands here in a second, so we'll deal with the rest of them. Alright, next up we've got Gather Courage. A green instant for 1 green. Has Convoke, so you can tap a green creature to, pay for the 1 green this costs. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Okay. Then next up we've got 2 Selesnya Signets. 2 cost artifacts that for 1 colorless and tapping it allow you to add 1 green and 1 white to your mana pool. I don't like the whole pay 1 and tap for 2. I'd rather just be tap for 2. Or I'd be okay with tap one of the other. That would actually be, to me, better. Next up we have Call of the Conclave. That's a sorcery. Costs 1 green and 1 white. And allows you to create a 3/3 green Centaur creature token. And we have the Selesnya Charm. It's an instant that costs 1 green and 1 white. Choose 1 out of 3. Target creature gets +2/+2 and trample until end of turn. Exile target creature with power 5 or greater. Or finally, create 2/2 white knight creature token with vigilance. Okay. Do some options. Next up, we've got Sundering Growth. It's an instant that costs 2 green and or white. Destroy target artifact or enchantment, then populate. Oh, crud. Sundering Growth is from Return to Ravnica, as is the Selesnya Charm. And Call of the Conclave is, and Call of the Conclave. The Selesnya Signet is from City of Guilds. Oops. Next up, we've got Devouring Light. Well, I think we got 2 Devouring Light copies of Devouring Light. It's an instant for 1 colorless and 2 white. Has Convoke, so you can tap creatures to cover the cost. It's initially from City of Guilds. Exile target attacking your blocking creature. For 3 mana, that's not bad for 3 mana, even without the Convoke. So, you know. Next up, from Guilds of Ravnica, we've got Conclave Tribunal. It's an enchantment with Convoke. And they actually brought Convoke back for this set. When it enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent an opponent controls until Conclave Tribunal leaves the battlefield. Costs 3 colorless and 1 white. Not feeling that one. Hate to say it. I'm really not feeling that one. Next up, we've got from City of Guilds. This is Scatter the Seeds. We got 2 copies of that one. Costs 3 colorless and 2 green. It's got Convoke and allows you to create 3 1/1 green sapperling tokens. Okay. Not terrible, but not great. Then we've got Pollen Bright Wings. Okay, they're from Ravnica City of Guilds. That's from Ravnica City of Guilds. Costs 4 colorless, 1 green, 1 white. It's an enchantment, Aura, that targets creatures. The enchanted creature has flying. Whenever an enchanted creature deals combat damage to a player, create that many 1/1 green sapperling creature tokens. Woo! That could be net. You can make a really good sapperling deck out of it with the Selesnya. I'll say that much. Then you've got 4 Selesnya Guild Gates, two of each artwork for there's 1 and 2. Selesnya Guild Gates enter the battlefield tapped. They can be tapped at either green or white. And we got 4 Selesnya Sanctuaries from way back in from City of Guilds. Enters the battlefield tapped. When it enters the battlefield, you return a land you control to whoever's hand as well. You can tap it at 1 green and 1 white. Okay, that's actually better than well, at least a little bit better than the Guild Gates. But there's that whole thing of, oh, I got to return a land I control to my hand. Then we got a bunch of plains and a bunch of forests, which originated in Alpha. Not the point, though. Anyway, so that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Selesnya Guild Kit. If I end up managing my hands on the rest of the, what are they called? Commander decks that were released this year, I'll do videos on those as well. Again, I'm sorry about the weird angle. We'll be doing building a team here in the near future as well. Also, Sorry about the lack of a comic book roundup this past week. I was unable to hit up the comic book shop. We'll be basically doing a doubly long one this coming week to make up for it. What else? And that's gonna about cover it, I think, at least for tonight. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my social media and Patreon are in the description box down below. Hit the notification bell, wherever that may be anymore. There. To be notified when I put new content. And as always, this is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying, live long and rock hard.